Hope is the only good god left among mankind. Hesiod, Works and Days. After Prometheus stole fire and gave it to humans, the world began to change faster than the gods could have predicted. Indignation grew on Olympus, and Zeus conceived an idea of punishment, not only for the Titan, but also for humanity, which had become too bold. He wanted to create a gift that would appear beautiful but would become a source of trials. Thus was born the idea to create the first woman, who would be a temptation, a miracle, and an inevitable trap all at once. Zeus did not seek to destroy humans. He wanted to remind them that no gift from the gods comes without a price. Hephaestus was ordered to sculpt a woman out of clay, and her image was born slowly, like an ancient melody. He created her with delicate lines, soft contours, and hidden strength. Aphrodite gave her an attractiveness that could not be explained in words. Athena gave her movements full of grace and intelligence. Hermes gave her cunning, lightness, and unpredictability. Artemis endowed her with restrained pride, and Hera gave her the ability to attract attention. When they had finished their work, the gods looked at the creature, which resembled their own image but concealed more than could be anticipated. She became the embodiment of the divine plan. Beautiful, complex, and unknown. Her name was Pandora, she who received all gifts. Together with Pandora, the gods needed to give the world a test. Therefore, Zeus ordered that she be given a box, heavy, decorated, adorned with symbols reminiscent of their power. The box was so skillfully sealed that it was impossible to open it by accident. Its beauty concealed a secret accessible only to those who succumbed to curiosity. Pandora received it as her first gift, not realizing what she was holding in her hands. The gods remained silent, and Hermes quietly whispered a risky impulse into her soul: the ability to ask questions even when it would be better to remain silent. Thus, the box became the centerpiece of the coming tragedy. Zeus decided to give Pandora in marriage to Epimetheus, Prometheus's brother, who was known for his trustfulness. Prometheus foresaw the danger and warned his brother not to accept gifts from the gods, but fate did not heed the warning. Epimetheus, enchanted by Pandora's beauty and her bright presence, forgot about caution. Their union seemed blessed. Pandora learned human customs, discovered simple joys, and opened up a world that was new even to the gods. She was created as a trap, but no god could have predicted that she would truly feel compassion, wonder, and a need to understand. And it was these feelings that made her even more vulnerable to the unknown. The box stood in Pandora's house like a silent guest. It attracted attention, as if it had a life of its own. Pandora tried not to think about it, but the more she avoided it, the stronger her thoughts returned. Hermes' ever-present whisper reminded her of her gift, her insatiable curiosity. She wondered why the gods had chosen her, what the mysterious object concealed, why it seemed so important and yet so dangerous. It seemed as if the box was watching her. Pandora felt that her life would not be complete until she learned the truth. And one day, the silence in the house became too deep, and her inner urge too strong. When the lid was lifted, the world seemed to shudder. Creatures that the gods had hidden from humanity burst out of the darkness. Disease, doubt, old age, suffering, jealousy, hunger, anger, fear, and countless other forms of torment. They fluttered out like black shadows, scattering in all directions, each touching the world and changing it forever. Pandora tried in horror to close the box, but it was too late. What had given people a carefree life was now gone, replaced by trials they had never known. Her heart ached with guilt. She had not wished evil on anyone, but her own feelings had become the driving force behind a disaster that even the gods could not stop. When the box finally closed, Pandora heard a soft sound, light as a breath. One thing remained inside, something that had not managed to escape. She carefully opened the box a second time, and a gentle, warm essence floated out: hope. It was light and fragile, but not weak. Hope touched a world that had already been wounded by new sufferings and softened them. It gave people the ability to endure pain, look to the future, and find meaning where it seemed empty. The ancient Greeks believed that it was thanks to this last creature that humanity was able to survive all the misfortunes that came out of the box. Balance was born out of tragedy. Pandora realized that her role in world history did not end with the opening of the box. She became a symbol of the complexity of human existence: beauty and suffering, curiosity and caution, light and shadow. People no longer lived in an ideal world, but they had the chance to become stronger, more resourceful, and wiser. The gods watched the changes, seeing that their plan had gone far beyond punishment. Pandora's box brought suffering to humanity, but it also gave it a foundation for growth. And while the shadows of misfortune loom over the world, hope never leaves human hearts, reminding us that even in the deepest darkness, a way out can be found.